can't neither.
Here's the deal. I'm the best there is, plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence, and nobody can hang with my stuff.
Get stealing, woo, wheeling, dealing, limousine right, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down. Woo!
These fucking headphones off. You're good. Everybody's good. Cheers.
I'm good.
Cheers.
Salute.
Cheers. Cheers.
Salute.
Ladies and gentlemen, finally, after like a year and a half of begging,
Come on, man.
we got Titan FC Bantamweight champ, right? Bantamweight.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Bantamweight
Irwin
champion.
Rivera. What's up, buddy?
What's up, bro? What's up, man? I appreciate you guys having me on here,
No,
man.
thanks for coming out. Thanks for bringing the belt.
Always.
Like, I haven't seen that Titan FC belt enough times, man. I was joking around with him before you got
Yeah.
here. Like, I had to walk around with that, and when they used to do the fights in Miami, so I just pretended like it was all mine.
Well, they don't do the fights in Miami anymore.
No, they do them all over the place now.
Yeah.
Before, he was doing them out at UM. They would rent out the UM arena.
What was it? The one that's all the way south in the.
Yeah, the one all the way south, not on like the main campus, which is actually a really, really good arena. They do a lot of concerts and stuff there.
Nice. Yeah,
So-
I was telling them it makes you feel some type of way, you know? Like when you're carrying it, when you're holding it, it makes you feel good, right?
Listen, so just to kind of bring everyone up to speed, you know who Irwin is. You just didn't know that it's Irwin. And you got a little bit of viral fame for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
And you had quite the road to get to that fucking belt.
Ah, man, you have no idea, bro.
I mean, I have a portion of the idea.
Yeah, you have a little bit of an
I have a
idea.
little bit of idea because being friends and being a fan, like, and being to different fights. So, not that you want to bring it back up, but I'll bring it up.
Yeah.
Irwin was fighting Eder Terry, right?
Eder Terry, yep.
Titan FC, what was it, 48, 45? I think I wrote it
It was
down.
like 50.
Was it? No, it wasn't in the
or
50s.
50. Yeah,
Was
it
it?
might have been 52.
48.
48?
48.
Damn.
Yeah.
Shit.
48.
It's crazy.
So you guys started, fight goes 1 minute, you went for a kick, he checks, and your leg broke on impact.
Yeah. It was
I
crazy,
have
man.
never seen you in that much pain.
I know.
You don't see a lot of people in that much pain, really. I mean, anybody that gets a broken bone is in a lot of pain.
Well, you never
The
really
same
think it's
thing.
going to happen to you until
Yeah.
it does happen to you.
But
know?
you had the same thing happen to a teammate when Tyrone Spong fought,
Yes.
what's his face?
Gokhan Saki.
Gokhan Saki.
Yep.
And he didn't even flinch. He just kind of looked down. He's like,
Yep.
fuck.
Yep.
So,
I think he was more in disbelief.
That's what happens when you break a bone. You have to understand. It's like when you if you ever watch them videos where you see skateboarders.
yeah.
You see skateboarders going hard. You know they're skating like normal. They all of a sudden they bail. They fall down. You know, and all of a sudden they have like a deformed leg. Like the leg is like completely all messed up, or the ankle or the hand.
Yeah.
You know, and they're just like, oh shit, I broke
Yeah.
my hand. I broke my hand because at that exact moment you're just with so much shock that you are able to sustain the pain. But once that shock goes away, once that adrenaline goes away, that's when that pain starts to slowly creep in.
That
you know?
throb, that.
So
Yeah.
was that instant for you?
It was instant. The minute that the minute that he kicked me, the minute that he kicked my shin, you know, it just was a perfect kick at a perfect exact moment.
That's right, he
that
hit
my
you.
ankle was, shifted to the right a little bit perfect, so that like the outer calf, like almost like the heel was facing towards, my opponent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was just the perfect kick at the perfect time, you know, and at the perfect spot.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, boom! The minute he kicked me, I knew it was broken. But you don't think of things like that. I'm a warrior, bro. Like I've been in wars. I don't give a fuck.
For sure.
Bro. Like,
I mean,
you know,
I've been there for
I
a
don't,
couple of
I
them.
don't even I don't care, bro. So I try to walk on it.
Yeah.
You know, I literally try to walk on it. I said, fuck it. I'm gonna figure this out somehow. And the minute I put weight on it, that thing just literally, boom! I felt the bones like slip out. You know, like the minute he kicked me, it was like a shatter. Like I knew it was like a Japanese knife, like just like that just went through, you know, and like the thing is still kind of like standing in structure, and then all of a sudden the minute I put weight on it, boop, it just slipped out of the place, you know, and it was instant pain, man. I've never been in such pain in my life, bro.
No, I remember from being there. It's one of those few times where I'm like, oh shit, like I can't.
I remember.
Can't
You
do
know what I
nothing.
remember more is the video from the couch.
Yeah,
that
it was crazy, bro.
Yeah.
You know, after
Yeah.
the
We're like hocked up on painkillers.
Nah, I was. I mean, I was. I'm not gonna lie. But I was just super positive about it, man. Like, it's a whole lot more than just the leg break. Like, it was a lot of shit that I was going through at the time of my life. You know, I was going through a lot of shit. You know, within my family, my little family that I had. You know, with my ex-girlfriend, and you know, like being where I was, like, you know, it all like. My whole story is crazy, man. I swear to God, I'm going to write a book one day, and it's going to make for an amazing story, you know. And it all started, like, back when I had my first ever the Jose Ceja fight that I had, first one, in Legacy. You know, I had lost. I had come off a loss. I was 4-0. I was undefeated as a professional. I was knocking everybody out left and right, you know. And then I had an opportunity to fight a guy who was 12-4 at the time, and he's a current UFC fighter right now. His name is Steven Peterson. You know, very good fighter, very great fighter. You know, I went the distance with him. You know, it was a great fight and everything, and then it didn't go my way. You know, and it's a very questionable fight. You could watch the fight and think about it for yourself. But I take my losses, you know, how I take my wins. You know, I'm very humble about it. But he beat me. So the next one I had, which was the Jose Ceja fight, and I smashed this guy, I killed this guy, and I made it look so good that was my breakthrough fight. Yeah. That was the fight that literally broke out. I got so much attention. I got offers left and right, you know, from so many different people. Money started coming in, you know, like that was the fight that made me, you know. And it was an amazing fight, amazing war. And I got signed to Combate Americas. I got signed to Combate Americas. I was doing great, you know. And then, you know, it just, I had so much on my plate, man. I had a baby on the way. I had a baby on the way, and money was tight, you know. Even though I got this big contract, you know, like you can't get it until you fight, until you compete.
Do the work.
You gotta compete, you know. And it was so hard to find me an opponent. Nobody wanted to fight me at the time.
I remember you had like 2 or 3 changes.
Bro, you know, I'm really
bro. Nobody wanted to fight me.
That's one of those things, you know, that sucks about fighting. It seems like, look, if there's a ranking system, then the company goes, okay, you're fighting A, B, or C, or you know.
Well, you got to photo, like if you got a 48, you got to do 47, 46.
Yeah, you got to fight this guy. You have no choice. You can't say yes or no.
Yeah, but that's the old school boxing style, and as much as we wish we could go back to that,
it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way.
But it should be that, because it's
for sure in a perfect world.
Because otherwise, the rankings mean nothing.
Right, but then you kind of lose out on the opportunities and the crazy stories.
That's the problem. That's the problem with fighting now.
That's not fighting. That's show business.
But
we have to decide what is
entertainment.
Is it MMA? Is it? Are we look at this new belt that Dana's gonna make? I don't know if
the bad motherfucker belt.
Yeah, I don't know if this is true or not.
Yeah.
But if they make this belt, it totally makes the UFC look like bullshit.
I mean, look at all the stuff that's going on. Look at all the stuff that's going on anyway.
It's entertainment,
WWE. It's what it goes from.
But that's what it comes down to nowadays. Nowadays, fighting is it's like you see this, like, the world is constantly changing.
Yeah.
The world is constantly changing. You know, like, the fighters are nowhere near compared to the fighters that we had back in the day.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, the old school fighters, those guys are real OGs, like triple OGs. Like, those guys, well, you could fight, they'll fight in the backyard. You know what I mean?
Like, let's go,
like, nowadays, you got fighters that everybody wants to be, like, famous. You know, everybody's trying to be famous nowadays. And nowadays, you know, like, in order to get to these big leagues, in order to get to these places, you have to patent your record. That's how it works. That's how these guys, that's how they're doing it, you know? So that's what they need to do. It sucks, and it's an unfortunate, you know, thing for like people like me who are real fighters who will fight anybody on any given day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's the way that the game works. You have to understand how this thing works. Every single thing that you get into your field, like, you have to understand it. It's like you guys with this podcast. You guys have a podcast. You got to understand every area and everything that you're in with the podcast. You know, you got to understand your competition. You got to understand how the field works.
Like,
you know what I mean?
I've had the argument before, and like I did like an entire like episode on just like some of the things that just the fighters don't get.
Yeah.
And it blows my mind how it's kind of, there's only like extremes. There's very few people like you or Gilbert that understand both sides of the spectrum, where it's got to be the entertainment show business.
It's a
but then
mix.
you also got to sit there and do like, you still got to pay your dues.
Yeah.
Like, so
sure.
why is it that so many fighters just don't get that? Like,
Because the reality and the sad reality is that, you know, like, you're just not, you don't have that it factor.
Yeah.
Like, that's what all these companies are looking for. They're looking for that it factor. Does he have that it factor? Does he have that personality? Okay, we know he can fight, but does he have that personality?
Yeah.
Can he speak? You know, like, is he likable? Is he a likable guy? Is he fun to watch? Does he have an exciting style? Does he finish fights?
Yeah.
You know, like, all these things don't really, like, they will get you places. Like, put it like this. I'll give you a perfect example. You got, obviously, Floyd Money Mayweather.
Yeah.
You see him, you know. He got talent. He has talent. He knows how to speak. You know, some things is questionable, but he knows how to speak. The guy knows how to sell himself. You
But
know?
he learned
Very
that
smart guy.
Yeah.
You got a guy like him. And then you have another guy like Vasily Lomachenko.
Yeah.
Look at Lomachenko.
Oh,
Lomachenko got his way. He got his attention through fighting.
Yeah.
It wasn't through talking. It wasn't, you know, like he just started
But
getting into talking, you know, like you know, he did it through fighting and fighting only.
But he's
you know,
still
because he
lower than, like, you.
and he's still lower than a guy like Money Mayweather. But in my opinion, he's more talented than him.
Yeah.
No question. You
And
know?
it's
but
on
that's how it comes down to.
It's on an aggressive style compared to a defensive style of Mayweather. Lomachenko has a more
fun,
like,
interesting.
Well,
And
he
he's
does
very
his
fun
defensive style. See, what I like about Lomachenko's defensive style is it's dynamic. It's not just.
Well, he's got the
like,
footwork, so
yeah,
it's
the
not
footwork.
the same. It's
Not
not the
same
same
as Floyd.
It's not
Floyd's
as
is,
Floyd
like,
where like he can get into a
slips.
Philly shell and just stay there.
Floyd is a defensive fighter and a defensive fighter only. You know, he's not a killer.
He knows he
he's
doesn't
a
have the
defensive
knockout.
fighter.
He doesn't
and
have
he
the
knows
hands.
and he knows how to take you to the distance. He knows how to take you rounds, and he knows how to win.
Yeah.
Lomachenko is the same way, but he's not a defensive fighter at all. He's an offensive fighter. He's an offensive fighter. He uses his angles. He hits you. He tags you. And sometimes whenever he feels like it, he'll take you out.
Yeah.
When he knows he got you. When he knows you're broken. You know, it's art watching Lomachenko.
And that's
it's literally art watching him.
The
you know?
fucked up part is that the biggest thing that they could pull from him to make it something to show, to give that entertainment, is always talking about like, oh, he took dance lessons and he played all the different sports when he was a kid because his dad wanted him to try everything.
For sure. But if you actually pay attention and you actually like listen to when he actually does speak, because like he's been getting better at speaking. He's very philosophical.
Yeah.
He's very intelligent. He's a very intelligent
You
fighter.
have to be.
You know, and he's this new generation of fighters who are doing things that other people aren't doing, you know, like they've been doing things that other people. He's just a next level type of fighter, you know what I mean?
Well,
like
it was the same thing with like GSP. Like everybody looked at him like he's doing a bunch of weird shit, and now it's like, oh, he takes gymnastics class. He goes from wrestling to gymnastics. He's doing flips and shit. It's like now everyone's like, oh shit, well maybe I should have taken some gymnastics class.
Exactly.
Let me go sit up and do like some like pole vaulting and shit.
Look, and then in the BJJ world, you look at Freakazoid and
The breakdancers.
Boogeyman.
Yeah.
These guys came up as breakdancers, and that did what that did for their bodies and their brains as far as kinesthetic awareness, what their body's doing at all times.
But the flexibility and the
but there were so many things that breakdancing brought to their game.
Mm-hmm.
Like they came into jiu-jitsu like a step ahead of everybody because they understood how to work their body, because that's that's a big part of understanding fighting is getting your feet and your hands.
It's the limb dexterity or limb
Yeah.
independence. Limb independence is like is
You
a
have
big
to,
thing.
you know, why this foot's standing here with this what? So when this foot steps forward, this one. This.
Well, I
this-
mean,
this
it
can
helps
come.
out.
It's just
for
in
that
my
tempo.
opinion, it's just next level intelligence. You
Yeah.
know, as far as it's understanding your craft, knowing what you can do to improve it, and making sure that it gets done. You know.
So going with that, so you had the injury.
Yes.
You were down. You were out.
Yes, so I had the injury. I had the what's it called. I had the Jose Ceja fight, like I was saying. You know,
Yeah.
I had him, and I blew up. I went to Combate America. Long story short, I got 2 back-to-back L's. You
Yeah.
know, my relationship was falling apart with my ex at the time. You know, I just had such a very negative relationship. You know, I'm trying to be a good guy and make sure that I'm not saying, you know, I'm trying to be.
For sure.
I always said that I would never say anything bad about the mother of my daughter.
Yeah.
You know, so I try to keep it clean. But at the end of the day, it was a very negative relationship that I knew was hurting me. You know, I knew it was
Yeah.
hurting me in the long run. I was not happy. I would see myself in the mirror, and I would literally I wasn't as happy as I was when I was first training by myself, when I was by myself, you know, and I was super focused on fighting and what got me to be 4-0 in the first place.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I wasn't that person anymore. I was unhappy. I was very unhappy. But long story short, I won my next fight with Combate Americas, and I got cut.
Chino.
You know, yeah, with Chino Durant in Miami. And after that fight, I did good. It was a great fight. I put a beautiful striking clinic. You was there for that one. I remember.
I
you was
almost
there,
got beat
you know?
up. I almost got beat up
Yeah.
and arrested at that one. Yeah.
You was there for that one, and I did good. It was an awesome fight.
sure.
I looked great, but the thing is, I didn't finish the fight. I didn't get anything that really solidified my dominance there, and it was not good enough in their eyes. And I got cut by Combate, not because, you know, of that. There was other reasons behind it with management and shit like that. But initially, they just, you know, they were giving me a lot of money for me to, you know, to be there, and I didn't perform to the utmost best of my abilities, you know. And that's when I got cut and went to Titan, and that's when all that happened with Adair Terry in the next one.
That whole night at Combate Americas was weird. That whole night was very awkward, and there was definitely something that wasn't right to begin with, because it was hands down the most money they ever put down for a show.
Yeah.
They wrote down they completely set up this whole venue specifically for this show. They rented out this venue in Wynwood in Miami. They dropped, I want to say it was something like, it was either 20,000 or 200,000 on the air conditioning alone.
Oh yeah.
For this venue.
Oh, they dropped money.
Yeah.
They dropped.
They completely set up this whole thing, because I walked in super early.
Where is it televised? In South America?
Everywhere.
No, it
So
was
that's
televised at that moment. I believe
That was
it was
broadcasted
on
online, and it
on
was on
UFC
Univision.
Fight Pass. Was it?
Oh yeah.
And it was on Univision.
No. I want to say
it was on
NBC or Univision.
I don't remember, man.
Yeah, it was a while ago,
Yeah,
but
it
it
was
was
a while back,
broadcast.
yeah.
It was broadcast. That
very well
specific
broadcasted.
night, and this is kind of why I kind of set him up to get screwed over like that. That whole night was specifically set up for them to show off, to get more investors. So this whole backside of the arena was these elevated VIP seats. They were coming in with the fucking candles and all kinds of shit, and it was all big money investors. And they were showing the potential of what they could do.
Yeah.
So it was very limited seating, and it was just a very, very private kind of setup.
Yeah.
So they put in everybody that they knew they could show out. So your fight was super tough with Chino.
Yeah.
And Chino got fucked over on that one too. I knew he was hurting bad, because I texted you, I think it was 2 weeks after. It was a week after, 2 weeks after.
Mm-hmm.
And Chino was fighting in Titan FC.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got kicked off right off the bat, and then I'm like, hey, bro.
But the thing was, it's Combate Americas was a relatively new organization that was, you know, and it's still like a baby. It's still relatively new, you know. And they wanted to show what we can do. They wanted to show, you know, like they want to introduce Combate Americas to the public, to the U.S. public.
They really wanted to show MMA
they really
to
wanted
the
to
South
show
America.
Yeah, exactly. That's what their main market is geared towards.
Yeah.
You know, and they put on amazing shows, man. Like that was one of the best shows I've ever fought for.
Yeah.
You know, I love fighting for Combate Americas. I love the organization. They're great. They're awesome. They're amazing. You know, but it's like I said, like things happen. You know, it's like
business.
Business is business. If I was in the UFC and I wasn't performing, I would get cut.
Yeah.
It's the same shit. Business is business. That's at the end of the day, you have to make sure you win your fights. And you got to stand out, like we talked about. You have to stand out. You know,
So you went, you win that fight. You still get
Yes.
cut, and then the fight with Terry. So what starts going through your head? Like, what's the next thing in your mind after dealing with everything? It's like, okay, now I'm injured.
well,
Like-
at the time, before the Terry fight, when I got signed to Titan, I was a little upset about it because obviously, you know, coming from Combate Americas,
Yeah.
you know, having all that I had with them, you know, and then going straight to Titan, it was hard for me. It was hard for me to adjust, you know. And Lex was super cool, you know, very respectful. You know, Lex was super cool, very respectful, and I didn't really know him as much as I know him now, you know. So we were still building a relationship, and they treated me fairly and everything. But the mindset that I had was just, I need to get everything back that I lost.
Yeah.
Everything that I lost, I have to get it back. You know, and literally, like, I trained hard for that fight. You know, obviously I could have trained better, but the biggest thing that I've learned in that fight, you know, was I have to study my opponents. You know, I tilt my hat off to my opponent, Dear Terry. You know, he's a very tough guy. You know, and he did his homework. I saw how he was talking to his corner about that leg kick that he was gearing to throw. I know he didn't, you know, we both didn't know he would break my leg, but I knew that that was a weapon that he wanted to use, you know. And I've always been the type of fighter where it's like I don't give a fuck, like I'll fight anybody. It is what it is, you know. Since I hurt that time, because I don't like using the L word, since I hurt from that fight, I knew I had to change. Number one, I always have to change. Like, change, I believe, I always welcome change. Change is so good, you know. But from that fight, I literally learned I have to study my opponents, man. It's smart to study my opponents. Why would you just fight just to fight? You know, you have to study your opponents. You have to be intelligent. You got to take an intelligent approach. If you take two animals and you let them fight, you know, they're just gonna fight, and you know, and sometimes
be a
you know,
sloppy
there's
scramble.
just gonna be a sloppy scramble. But if you put a little intelligence in that one animal, or if you put a weak animal against like a fucking pit bull or something like that, but the weak animal has a little bit higher of an IQ, he'll take that pit bull out because he's smarter. You know,
there's a fine line though when it comes to that, because you see these guys that prepare for one thing. From one, like, you know, like say they're going against a grappler, or you know, for example, if we look at the Conor and Khabib fight, Conor was so worried about the grappling, he didn't think about the striking, and he got cracked. Remember when he got cracked? So it's like when you focus on one, like, and you see it, you see these fighters that'll focus on
for sure
one aspect of their opponent's game, and I'm like, to me, what I think would be more intelligent is figuring out what their game is, going, okay, this is what they do, and how do I work that? How do I lure them into my game? That to me is the question.
Everybody has their own opinion and their own ideas of certain things that, you know, how they think that it should be done. You know, in my opinion, you know, like with the whole Conor and Khabib fight, something that, you know, one of my best friends, Gilbert Burns, told me, you know, something that he told me that I'll never forget. You know, this was even before I fought Matthew Waggy. I fought Matthew Waggy for the belt. You know, he told me, Irwin, don't worry about your weaknesses. You know, he said, focus on your strengths. And I thought that was one of the most intelligent things he's ever told me. You know, he's an amazing mentor, and he always helps me, every single time in anything that I do. And you know, in my opinion, you know, like I said, it's stupid to just try to fight. It's so stupid to just try to fight because things like that happened in my last fight. Everything that's ever happened to me in my life, I've always, you know, it doesn't matter if it's negative, I've always turned it into a positive. I always try to, you know, understand why, you know. Okay, shit happens, nothing you can do about it, but there's gotta be a why. There's gotta be a why. I will always find that fucking why wherever it's dug into. Like, I will find that shit. Yeah. You know, I will find it. And I understand why I lost, why I hurt that fight. Yeah. I understand why my leg broke in that fight. I understand why. You know, I understand why it happened. It's because my opponent was more intelligent than I was. Yeah. You know, he was hungrier than I was. You know, there was a million things I could have done and I should have done, but he was ready.
But it was also one of those things that you could tell that he understood the dangers of fighting you, and he took the time to do the studying to prepare for that. He
literally planned that leg kick. You know, he didn't plan to break it. We didn't know it was gonna break, but he planned to hit me in that spot. He knew that it
was gonna be there,
and he knew it would be there. Yeah. And I didn't. I just took that fight just to take the fight, just to, you know, okay, I gotta bounce back. Okay, I got a guy. Finally, I got a guy. Now let's bounce back. You know what I mean? There was no intelligent approach how there is now. How I have now.
Yeah, you got ahead of yourself.
I got way ahead of myself. You know, and I was not prepared. Even when I walked to the fight, like when I was walking out for the fight, I know what I'm thinking, and I was not ready. I was not, in my opinion, I was not ready, man. I was not ready, bro. You know?
The one thing that I've always credited Lex McMahon for is the ability to spot talent, but to also give people that shot to throw out that talent. Because I don't think I've ever seen him just randomly pick someone. It's like, oh, give me like a dead body. Just give me any kind of body.
There's no easy fights for Titan. Nah.
No, there's never. And he
don't give you easy fights. Yeah, he don't give you easy fights.
He'll tell you too. He's like, I don't give a fuck about like giving. Like, he doesn't pad anybody's record. Even Shorty. Yeah. Like, Shorty is his boy. Shorty is his fighter. And he's like, I'm gonna give you to the fucking wolves. And even that was difficult for Shorty to get the calls to go up to the UFC.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, I've seen guys that are just world-class fucking killers. Yeah. And Lex is like, all right, like, go ahead. Like, he'll give you the fight. Like, show him. But he'll never give you the excuse. Like, he won't take the bullshit excuse. Like, I gave you every chance.
He'll make you earn it.
Yeah,
he'll make you earn it, you know?
For sure.
He will make you earn it.
And, like, that's when, like, when I saw him, like, signing, it's like, okay. So, like, he sees what everybody else sees. Like, he's got potential, and you're young, so you got time to, like, move up. But he knows that you're going to put on a show.
Yeah.
So I think as much as it sucked to see that happen, like, I never like seeing a friend get injured. I think that, like, I mean, obviously that fight was the catalyst for you to fucking finally say, I'm changing all this shit. I'm changing all like the shit that like I'm obviously doing wrong.
I had to. You know, I changed so much things. Like, I changed so much things. But I'm very grateful for Lex for sure, because he stuck by my side, man. He said, Irwin, whatever you need, let me know. You know, we'll get everything going, whatever you need, however much time you need. And when you're ready, you let me know. I'll be here. Yeah. You know? So I really appreciate that, man. That meant a lot to me. But
especially
ever since that fight,
like, so many people were just willing, like, that's the time, like, when all of a sudden people stop answering phone calls.
Oh, no question, bro. Like, honestly, on some real shit, man. Like, literally, after I broke my leg, I had 2 people call me. Yeah. You know, besides my family. My whole family called me, obviously. You know, but I had 2 friends that called me. Number one, you know, like, you know, obviously I had my man Gil. My man Gil he held my hand through that whole experience in the cage and literally came to the hospital with me and everything. You know, I love that motherfucker like a brother, you know, like literally like nothing in the world I won't do for him. Because that shit like that is something you will never, ever forget, you know. And I had somebody else visit me, and literally it was that was it, you know. And I don't blame anybody. Everybody has their own life and shit. But that's when you start to realize, you know, who you really truly fight for and what you really truly fight for, you know, and what truly matters, like in the end, you know. And I changed my whole cerebrum changed, bro. Like my whole fucking way of thinking changed. Like everything changed. Like my next fight, which was the Lazar fight, was a breakout fight for me.
Sure.
I made sure, bro, I knew I was going to win that fight before it even happened. I made it in my head, and I put it in my head that I'm not taking no more L's. All I do is win. All I know is win, win, win. I'm not taking any more L's. That word doesn't exist in my brain. Like, I'm not hurting anymore. I will not hurt anymore. I will never go through anything that I went through, when I had gone through that shit with Dear Terry. You know what I mean? And I changed everything. I had to change everything. I changed the way I think. I started studying my opponents, which is something really nice that I love.
Studying your craft more than anything.
Yeah, I figured out what, like I said, like Gil was telling me, focus on your strengths. Like I figured out what I needed to do. Like my hands are my greatest weapons. Yeah. It's a no-brainer. If you don't know that, like, I feel sorry for you, but you're dumb. Well, my hands are my greatest weapon. You know what I mean?
I've always seen it, and it was funny to like, once I saw you starting, like, boxing and going down to Miami and start working with everybody on the hands, I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, his hands got fucking faster. Yeah. Like, before you were throwing, like, heat, and they were landing hard. Yeah. But now it's like, the fucking Mexican just came out. Like, the legit fucking Mexican just came out. And to see, like, that level of boxing change. And it was the hands.
It's crazy, right?
Because I saw it was taking a while for the footwork. Yeah. Obviously, because your foot and everything. Yeah. But once the footwork matched the hands, like, fuck. Yeah. Like, I can't play around. Like, you can't just joke around, come up, what's up, I'm like, no, can't do that anymore. Fuck that.
It's crazy, man. Jorge Rubio, that's my boy. That's my boxing coach. He's my brother, man. Like, I love that guy, man. That little viejito, bro, he kills me, bro. You have no idea. Like, I love Jorge Rubio, man. And he was by me through the whole thing. Like, when I hurt my leg, he was sitting there and, whispering in my ear, like, Irwin, whenever you're ready, you let me know. And then he would work with me every single day. He said, okay, your leg is broken. You can't really move too much, but listen, I want you to learn how to fight with one hand. Literally one hand. Mm-hmm. He had my hand tied just behind my back, and I would just work one hand, and then I would work the other hand, and then I work both hands, and I just started doing like all these crazy shit that old school boxing, bro, old school. And the best thing that I love about him is he knows I'm Mexican. He knows we are aggressive fighters. My style, naturally, no matter what you teach me, I will come forward and I will try to take your head off. And I will get hit. It can happen. I can possibly get hit, but I don't care, because I'll take the hit and I'll get an even better hit. But he taught me Cuban boxing. Cuban boxing, if you look at Cuban boxers and the way they fight, they do a shitload of movement, shitload of footwork. They're pure footwork. All the Cuban boxing, you got Rigondeaux, pure footwork. Cotto, he fights a little bit like a Mexican, but he moves his legs a lot. You know what I mean? Like, all Cuban boxers, specifically Olympic Cuban boxers, they have amazing footwork. And Jorge, he used to teach the Cuban Olympic team. Like, this guy is legit, man. This guy, people have no idea how great he is, and I just look so much forward to showing his greatness through me, through his work, through me.
Do you remember when I think it was last year or year before, back to Conor, because he makes so much news, he said he fights like a Mexican. And the media was saying that it was a racist statement. Yeah. But it wasn't a racist statement. He was giving props. Yeah, but when you say somebody fights like a Mexican, it's because it's such a warrior.
But it's a different mentality coming from people like us that understand like what it comes from. Like, that's why I said like the Mexican came out of him, because
now you understand. It's that like.
Well, no, it's not that. It's they're amazing boxers, but it was one thing that like he was so focused on doing the MMA like all over the place, and then going like, okay, well, the roots are boxing.
But that's not what I'm talking about. That's to me. That's not what a Mexican. It's not about the skill when you fight like a Mexican. It's not. That's
you're looking at it different. Than
I'm looking at when I say
you're looking at the style.
It's the style. It's like style, I'm gonna come forward. I'm coming forward. And I'm gonna get hit, but I'm gonna keep coming forward, and I'm gonna walk through your shit, and then I'm gonna pound you some more.
What's a Frenchman? What's a Frenchman?
I don't know. I don't know the savate kicks. I don't know.
They got some good
but
Taekwondo and judo
it's
guys.
like when I hear someone,
I'm just curious at like your analysis of like.
it's not some, but when someone says they fight like a Mexican, it's a badge of honor. Someone says that to somebody,
you know,
for sure.
And I remember them going, "Oh, he's racist." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, but like the people that make those statements are
They don't know anything about
They don't know
fighting.
anything about
ESPN,
fighting.
when you got like a football player trying to analyze MMA fighters, like it never works.
And look, and now we got Andy Ruiz.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah,
man.
look, yeah.
He
the man.
fought, and what did
Yeah,
when he
he's-
that fight he
That
fought
little
like a
gordito,
Mexican.
hey, that little
so
gordito
bad.
fucking killing it, bro.
Every
That
time
little
a fat boy
gordito
wins,
killing
like
it.
a fight, be like, see, that's the body of a champion.
Who doesn't like watching the fat boy win? That little gordito
Bro,
killing it, bro.
that's why Butterbean was so famous.
Yeah,
like,
he's
who's
little,
this fat piece of
little
shit
fat
coming
guy
in
just
here?
knocking everybody
Oh
out.
shit! Like he watched.
No, he
bang, yeah.
put
Fuck
everybody
people
out.
Yeah.
He almost killed Johnny Knoxville. Like legitimately almost killed him. Remember?
That guy's an idiot, bro. Why the fuck would you go with Butterbean?
Is one of our boys fought at
Oh,
the
my
IKF.
God.
It was like his first
Yeah.
fight. The kid's only been like training like boxing for
Yeah.
6 months.
Yeah.
6 months.
You
Like
talking
tops.
Ryan?
Yeah. And they gave him this dude that was
Holy shit! He was
Easily.
6'7".
Yeah.
He was 6'7".
he was 6'7" Butterbean size. Like legit
Like his
400
trunks
pounds.
Yeah.
were tight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
They were
how-
up high.
And they were big. They weren't big. Like if you warm
But the
that
guy
shit
could
blanket-
bang. The guy could bang.
No, for sure he could bang. And his kickboxing, it wasn't boxing. Like the dude
Oh,
was
his
throwing kicks.
kickboxing.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I'm like, what the fuck
Oh,
is going on? I'm like,
shit.
listen, bro, just stick and move. If you've ever heard the phrase, just do that. Like, and he played it smart.
Yeah.
He did teep kicks.
Right,
just
right,
walked away. Teep,
right. In
walk
the,
away.
but here's the thing:
Wow.
the best thing about that whole fight
Yeah.
is he came out
Yeah.
and he threw a kick at the dude's face and landed it.
Yeah.
He threw a
Nice.
teep at the dude's
Yeah.
face and landed. It was
Nice.
oh shit!
Oh, careful.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
But that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like, it's like you can't underestimate people. It's like, oh, Fat Boy's coming out. Like,
No,
oh,
bro, you
shit.
cannot.
Well, that guy was also
a fighter is
he
a
was a
fighter.
champion, yeah.
A fighter.
well, no,
is
no,
a fighter.
he was a Division I football player.
Yeah, no,
that you know.
He
Yeah.
was big.
So he
So one question, and I'm pretty sure I asked you that before. So one thing I noticed, I don't know if you ever noticed, but he brings a fucking Rubik's cube with him everywhere he fucking goes. You still
Oh
do
yeah,
that?
yeah, of course. You know.
What's
Yeah.
the point? Why?
Well, I mean, it's just relaxing, you know,
Yeah.
and it's just like it's something to do, you know. I'm like I consider myself like a next level fighter.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I like I said, I welcome change. I welcome change with open hands. Like I literally welcome change.
Right.
And I see how the world is going. I see how the fight game is going, and I'm making sure that I change with it. You know? So the reason why I do the Rubik's Cube is I do it before a warm up. I do it for reflexes. You know, I do it for reflexes. Like what people don't understand, and what they don't know, you know, that I'm very grateful to have found out is because I read a lot, is speed is actually like the root of speed, and where speed comes from is from the eyes. You know, it's from your reflexes. Literally, I mean, obviously there's a physical sense in there. Obviously you got to be physically, you know, fast, physically fit in order to be fast, but speed truly comes from the eyes. You know, like it's a reaction. It's a quick reaction time, you know, and that's why I do the Rubik's Cube. When right before, like my perfect example of a perfect warm up that I just do, like when I go to Jorge's, you know, to train boxing. First thing I do is I jump rope. You know, I jump rope 3 minutes, and then I'll take a round off. I'll take a 1 minute break, and between that 1 minute break, I'm just slipping like a little sticky punching bag thingy, you know, and I'm just like slipping it under. I'm cutting angles and everything, and then I go back to jumping rope again for the next 3 minutes. Do it again, you know, for the with the what's it called, with the movement, and then go back to jump rope, and again 3 minutes. After I'm done with that, I take I have a ball and a baseball cap, you know, and I just hit that thing, man. And if you see me hit that thing, like you'll be like, damn, that shit is crazy how he does it.
I put one together,
you know?
because like when you started like doing it, I was like, oh shit, I gotta do that.
Yeah.
So I put one together.
Yeah, that shit is fun, man. It's fun. It's amazing for reflexes, and it's amazing for speed, like
For
I said,
footwork.
for reflexes, for footwork, you know. And as soon as I'm done with that, the next thing I'll do is a Rubik's Cube. You know, I'll bang out the Rubik's Cube like my eyes are going so fast, and my heart rate is already up. And what is basically implementing is just being able to think in such a stressful environment. You know, it's problem solving.
Problem solving.
Exactly.
Now, can you
finish it? You know, like, yeah, and I just finish it, boom, 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 probably like maybe 2 minutes. You know, it usually takes me 2 minutes if I'm doing it like, you know, not timed. If they just give it to me right now, banging out in 2 minutes, you know, and that's how I do it. And then after I'm done with that, I do I take like a little ball. I have like a ball that's like that has like little bumps on it, and I'll throw it in the air, and then as soon as it drops, boom, I'll go and grab it with one hand. Then I'll throw it in the air, and then I'll go and grab it with the other hand. You know what I mean? I play with the reflex ball. Yeah. And then after I'm done with that, there's sometimes I juggle if I want to. You know, like I mix it up. You know, like between those three, you know, or those four. You know, I mix it up with juggling as well. Juggling is, you know, you see your eyes just twitching like this. You know, and literally like that all gets incorporated towards speed. So when you're moving around and you're feeling your opponent out, and you're like this, like, you know, your eyes are twitching at such a fast speed, and you see it. You know, you just see it. You see that jab, you see that perfect left hand, you see that perfect uppercut. It's so fast, like the way that your eyes are moving, like it's all next level shit. It's next level incorporated training.
One of the biggest eye-opening things that I ever learned was from my first Muay Thai like boxing coach, Victor Rivera, and he told me, and it was all about speed and reflexes. Like there's 3 types of reflexes. There's the learned reflexes, so like you learn it, and then there's the trained, well, no, it was trained, instinctive, and there was another one, but the idea is to get the trained to be as fast as the instinctive reflexes. For sure. Yeah, the stuff that happens, it's like just a natural reaction where something comes at you, you automatically do it. You don't think about it. It's just a natural reaction. So it's one of those things. It's like to get that reflex up there so quick. You're literally
reaction time. Like people don't understand. Reaction time is a skill. Reaction time is something that needs to be, you know, like it's a craft that needs to be beaten on. Like that's something that you have to gain. That's something that takes a while to gain. That's why people spar. The reason why people spar is to ensure that they're getting that reaction time. But that's not good enough in my opinion. You know, you need to actually train reaction time. And if you're doing that aside and also sparring, you know, you're getting the results that you're getting. You know what I mean? So it's next level training,
but it's also because you do it. It's like it's I know
and it's
that
fun.
The SEALs do
and
it
it's
too.
fun. It's fun as fuck.
No, I think sparring is the worst thing, you know, for any fighter. I think full.
Well, ask the fighter.
Nah, you need to spar.
No, I understand that.
Super important.
No, I understand it. You need to spar.
There's a way to
spar.
There's a way to spar.
There's people that like to spar more than once a week. I mean, I don't.
Henry does it. Henry does it twice a week.
Henry, we do it. We do it over at Henry's like twice a week. Yeah. You know, and I personally spar 3, sometimes maybe 4 times a week when I have a fight lined up. You know, when I have a fight lined up, when I know I'm going to a fight, if my reaction time is not up to part where it should be on my notes, you know, because I have like a peak week. I have a set calendar of like this week I'm gonna be like this week I'm gonna be like this week I'm gonna be like this week like this is gonna be my peak week right here, and now I know I'm ready, you know. And if my reaction time isn't up to that specific way that you know, I'm making it towards, I'm gearing it towards, then I'm going to spar more and make sure that I get my reaction time. My reaction time has to be money.
But here's the problem though, is doesn't that takes away? I mean, that's
that it eats away at your reflexes.
No, it has nothing to do with your reflexes. It has to do with your durability.
Your durability.
Yeah.
This is the difference. If you're the type of fighter who's getting hit a lot, who gets hit a lot, for sure. What the fuck are you doing? Like, you know, why are you sparring that much? Right. You know, if you're a type of fighter that's getting hit a lot, there's no reason for you to be sparring for even twice a week. You know, even just twice a week. There's no reason for you to be sparring twice a week. You know.
But
if you're not, if you're like me, where I'm very grateful to God that I don't really ever take punishment at all. You know, I'm the one always giving it out. You know, I like to spar in order to ensure that I get that reaction time, because I know I'm not getting hit. But if I do get hit, obviously I'm very old school in the way I train. I'm more intelligent now. I wear my headgear. I wear Vaseline all over my face. I wear Vaseline on the gloves. I wear knee pads. I throw flying knees. I don't give a fuck. But I have the knee pads. I'm very intelligent about the way that I do things. I'll wear mouth guard. I make sure I do everything right. And I make sure I do everything super safe and ensure that I know I'm gonna be okay, and it's all good.
Take care of the vehicle.
That's what it is to me. Is there is a finite number of shots that the human body can take.
For sure.
Well, there's a huge evolution coming in. Compared to how he trains. If you look at the old judo boxing guys, where it was just
that's just stupid. That's just stupid.
And people look. It's a
drink?
No, I'm good.
It's a fact. You get knocked out once.
Yeah.
It gets easier every single time.
For sure. That's a fact. That's a fact.
So when I think of fighters getting ready.
Yeah.
Yes, you do have to spar. Don't get me wrong. I just to me, what's more important is the stuff that you're doing, is it's the extra stuff. But
that's not even what you're trying to say. What you're trying to say, I understand what you're trying to say, is you're saying that you can't get hit that much. The more and more you get hit, the more and more you're gonna just deteriorate. Your chin is deteriorating. Why are you sparring that much? So you have to understand that concept, and every fighter has to understand that concept. If you don't understand that concept, then you're just an idiot, in my opinion. You're gonna be punch drunk. Or somebody doesn't love you and doesn't see that for you, and your coaches don't love you. What are you doing?
I'm trying to think.
You can't be getting hit like that.
Of that where that you could tell that.
I don't want to say no names, but there's a perfect example is there's people in the gym, that I see that they get hit a lot. They get hit way too much, and I see them sparring twice a week, and I'm thinking, in my opinion, I'm like, these guys crazy, but that's. You have to understand everybody's different in their way of their approach to get them ready, to get themselves ready. So if they feel they need two training sessions a day, even though they're getting hit, possibly they're getting hit less every week, but they're still getting hit. They're still getting hit. But it's just like I said, you just have to understand that you can't just be a stupid fighter. You have to be intelligent. You have to understand this is a business. You have to understand, number one, more than anything, our bodies, they're the only ones we got.
Yep.
Yeah. They're the only ones we got. There's no bringing it back. If I chop off my hand right now, I'll never have another hand.
It's funny.
That's just how it works. You have to understand that concept.
When I was working a lot with Gilbert and doing all the marketing stuff, and I had to sit there and kind of tell him from my point of view, it's listen, you do your aspect of things. And I'm never gonna tell you how to train. That's not me. I'm not a pro. You're the pro. But what I can tell you from my aspect of things, as far as marketing is concerned, is that you're no different than a piece of food on the shelf in the grocery store. You got a limited shelf life.
Yeah.
My job is to make sure you get the most out of that limited shelf life. You handle the rest, but you have to understand that limited shelf life is you have to focus on that, but you also have to understand this. You have to understand the business aspect of it. Yeah. And ever since then, I've never bullshitted Gilbert. We've been great friends. I've never bullshitted him.
Oh, Gil, people don't understand how smart Gil is.
No, he doesn't.
Gil's super smart.
I knew that. I was that's why him and I did so well. We worked so well. I was listen, I don't want to sit there and work for you forever. I want to teach you everything. You do your own thing because you're intelligent enough to do it.
Yeah.
And it's paying dividend on its own. Some of the stuff that we never even spoke about. I'm damn, see, he got it. He understood it.
Yeah.
And that's why people don't get it. It's okay, you don't see his name up in fucking lights as much as you think you do, but he fucking puts in the work, and he's there at every opportunity. Yep. He gets all these crazy opportunities because he's a fucking businessman, and he fucking understands.
Dude, he's making $30,000 on his day off.
He creates them.
You know what I'm saying?
He creates those opportunities.
But he worked for it. He paid his dues.
For sure.
But he also paid his dues on learning the marketing.
Because the thing is, Gil, what I love about Gil is he has a very open mind, you know. He has the very open mind. He does not care. He's the same as me, where he doesn't care. Like, if he were to meet a bum on the street, and that bum on the street were to watch his fight and say, oh, you need to do this, you need to do this, man, you got to do that. He will literally, like, be like, yeah, okay, like, all right, this guy's full of shit. Yeah. But he'll be like, wait a minute.
He'll take a mental
wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is he full of shit?
Yeah.
Let me look at that video again.
Yeah.
You know, like, he will actually take advice, you know, like myself. I will take advice from anybody, from you, anybody, from a bum on the street. I don't give a fuck. If there's something that you see that I don't see, yeah, you know, why not?
Especially if it's coming from someone who's not in it.
Yeah,
and
why
like
not? You know?
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, what? It's full of shit, and okay, just trash, throw it to the side. You know what I mean? But best case scenario, fuck, you see something that I don't see. You're absolutely right. Yeah. Now I see that. Okay, I just learned something.
But the difference is that that's a mental strength that not everybody has, because there's some people, you know it, that if you went up there and like, listen,
you know, it's an ego thing.
They're a pro fighter, but I'll sit there and tell them, like, bro, like, you don't want to do that. If you're grappling with someone, do not do that.
Yeah.
Or what do you know? Like, well, I mean, we could roll. Yeah. Like, I can tell you why, but I we're not punching. I'm never gonna give you advice on, like, when it comes to that. But like, it's one of those things. Like, if somebody on the outside sees it, then someone on the inside will see that twice as much.
But it comes down to just, you know, having a different mindset.
For sure.
You know, like, Gilbert has a championship mindset in my eyes. You know, he has a championship mindset. You know, he understands these things. Like, he's open to understanding these things. Other people, they don't have that. You know, like, everybody can become a champion in anything that they do. For sure, no question, no doubt about it. But, you know, if you have these people who have limited minds, where they believe, like, what they believe, and they believe it to the core, and, you know, like, then like, it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, if I don't know, okay, no problem. Yeah, no problem.
I've never met
I'll never talk to you again. You know, like, no problem.
I've never met a successful person that
has not
that turned, you know? That would just be like, no. I like, any successful person that I've ever met listens to everybody that they're around, and I'm talking in business, like regular business. You know, they'll talk to somebody, even though, you know, the guy might be full of shit. The bottom line is there might be a 5% nugget of wisdom in that 100% conversation. You know what I'm saying? You never know what you can take away.
You said it best.
Something small that would change everything, and that'll open your eyes to things.
Yeah. For sure. So what's next for you then?
Well, unfortunately, you know,
don't start a fucking sentence with unfortunately.
No, well, I mean, I can't. I'll compete in the next event for Titan, which is gonna be in DR.
DR, yeah,
you know, which would have been super fucking fun to go over there.
But they should fly over, like,
they
should fly the champ over.
But the problem I can't, you know, because I'm very proud that I'm getting my papers this Friday, you know, so. I'm very proud that I'm gonna get my papers this Friday. I'm gonna start my whole citizenship process.
Oh, nice.
But that's the reason why I couldn't fly out. You know, like, I would have 100% been on that card.
Would have fucking shot you in the foot.
Yeah, but like I said, unfortunately, they don't have the next event until December or January, which sucks. You know, but I'm very patient, man. I'm taking a very smart approach about the way I do things. Like, perfect example, you saw Gilbert in his last fight. He took that fight on 2 weeks' notice. Yeah. You know, he took that fight on 2 weeks' notice. But he's been working. He's always been working. You know, perfect example, man. Like, I want to continue to work. I want to remain working. I have this Saturday. I'm doing my first triathlon this Saturday. Yeah. And then I have the Jiu-Jitsu Open, the Miami Open.
Are you gonna do the Miami Open?
I'm gonna do Miami
Gilbert
Open.
Texted me that too. I was like, bro, are you gonna do it?
Miami Open for sure, 100%. You know what I mean?
Are you purple now?
So yeah, I'm purple now. So I gotta.
Are you
start
doing
competing
adult
again.
or masters?
No,
you're 30.
I don't know. I'm 30. I don't know how that works. You know,
that's master.
Yeah.
30 is where master starts.
Yeah, but I'll probably go down. I'll probably go down. Yeah, I'll probably go down.
Don't be a sandbag.
Yeah,
fucking asshole.
Hell no.
Can you imagine fucking pro fighter?
Well, let me. Here's the thing. You say that, but.
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
Masters, what you get in Masters, here's what you get in Masters that you don't get.
You get old people.
Well, no, you get old people, but you get old man strength.
Not just old man strength, you get knowledge. Them
Yeah.
motherfuckers are smart.
Smarter. And
They're
more
smarter.
Yeah.
They might not be the most athletically gifted, and they might
They're
gas
not gonna
out,
always
you know.
be smarter.
But they're fucking smart, bro. They're
Not
fucking
always.
smart, bro.
Not always, because
You know?
you'll still
They're
get
smart.
the older guys that are just like Shawn said. They get the old man strength, so they're just
Yeah.
gonna sit there and be like, yeah.
Yeah, but
like this.
if it wins them, if you know, if that brings them victory.
But
Listen,
a
young-
true champion,
challenge
you know,
yourself.
always challenges himself,
Yeah.
and that's what I plan on doing.
The difference, the real difference is you're gonna go from a bracket of in masters of maybe 3 people
Yeah.
to a bracket of 12 people.
Yeah, and I'll take the 12.
That's
all
that,
day.
I
I'll
don't
take
know.
that 12 all day.
Masters is growing,
You know.
But yeah, masters are growing because all the fucking sandbaggers.
and
that
then
should
the
be-
other thing is you go from 7 minutes in the adult
6.
to 5 minutes.
5.
Oh fuck that! Yeah, I'll take that.
He's been doing
I
5
always,
minutes fucking round forever.
I've always taken the hard way out, man. There's
Well,
been nothing in
we
my
were
life that
having.
I've ever had,
I was
man.
actually
Let's get
Herbert-
a crew of people and just fucking just train, because that's only a month away.
Herbert.
Yeah,
Herbert.
for
And I, we were last week on the podcast. Herbert and I were talking about
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah.
5 minutes is the perfect amount of time.
Yeah.
When it gets to 6, 7 minutes, there's a lot of lulls in the action. 5 minutes makes it like
6 minutes is for the older
For
people,
sure.
so they can
For
chill
sure.
out. Get a
no, there is no
breather.
6
sure.
minutes. In Masters, it's only 5.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, 5 minutes to me, in my opinion, that sounds good. But like, I personally, I'm old school. Like I said, I believe I'm a warrior, bro. I always believe in finishes. Like, boom, finish. Like, the match ain't over till it's finished. Whoever, it doesn't matter how fucking tired they are, until they get that finish, it's finished. Until they tap,
can you do me a
until they
favor?
tap. You know
What?
Speaking about finish, because I just remembered something that's gonna piss him off like crazy.
what?
Once you ask him about leg locks,
Leg locks.
What happened?
Yeah, what's going
Oh,
on?
get the fuck out of here! Get out!
he's the first person I
man.
ever caught in a leg lock. So he fucking would kick my ass all the time at Combat Club.
Fucking
Not
Alex.
a problem. It's whatever, man. Like, we've been training forever. So then one day, just bam, I caught him, and they like came in, and he's good. It's like, tap, no problem. And then I start seeing him like steaming. I'm like, bro, what's wrong? He's like, man. I'm like, what? He's like, fucking got that leg lock. Bro, he was so heated. I went as far as making like a meme out of him. Because he was like laughing, but I knew he was getting pissed off about it. Bro, that was the best. And that's why, like, that was the last time we rolled. I was like, I'm not rolling with him again. So
I'm a humble champion, Alex did catch me in a leg lock. I'm not gonna lie. I will tell it publicly,
I will
go
go
tell it
back
publicly.
and find that meme.
I will tell
So
it
you're gonna do
publicly.
Miami Open?
Yes.
So you're
about
going to be at
fight
class
to
tomorrow
win?
at noon?
Oh yeah, I've been rolling lately. I didn't want to go hard today. Like I rolled today. I mean, I went to practice today, but I didn't want to roll.
No, I meant at Combat Club tomorrow noon.
Oh yeah.
Or 1.
No, I'll probably be there. What is it tomorrow? Thursday.
Gi.
I'm probably gonna be there. Oh, Gi is at 1?
Yeah.
No, I'm probably gonna be there in the afternoon. Probably in the afternoon. Yeah. But I'm gonna compete both. I'm gonna do Gi and no Gi.
There's only Gi at IBJJF.
Oh, there? Yeah. Is there?
Yeah.
They're doing both.
No.
You sure?
Double check.
No, it's just Gi.
If it is what it is, bro. Shit,
I think you should just already.
Either
get
way,
up
I
there
don't
and-
care, bro. I can
Yeah.
do Gi. I'll do no Gi.
You
I'll
should
go naked. What's
there
up?
you go. I'm not rolling
don't
with
care.
you ever again for sure.
I don't care, bro.
They
You
you should definitely get into the.
I think New Breed is coming up too.
The new breed is
No,
Gi and
you
Gi.
got to get into
Breed's
fight to
game,
win.
man.
Fuck that. You got to get to fight to win. Get like a real challenge for sure. You could do good because then you'll get someone like your level, or probably be like
Yeah.
another MMA fighter or someone
Nice,
like
yeah.
from fight sports and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, man. I mean, I'm always open to possibilities. Like I have an open contract with Titan FC. I'm able to box whenever. You know what I
What
mean?
about combat jiu-jitsu?
I'm able to do that too. I can do that. Like, me and Lex are really cool, man. Like, he's very flexible. Like I said, I have a lot of respect for the guy. Guy's very flexible with me.
Yeah.
He just wants me to keep the momentum that I got going on. I got good momentum on my side. I won my last 2 fights. I finished 2 tough ass opponents. I'm doing good.
But I
I'm
think
in a good place right now.
Yeah, for sure. And honestly, I think Titan is definitely the best place for you to be at right now, because you got a better chance of bumping up to the UFC from Titan than you would have from Combate Americas.
For sure,
And not a knock on them by any means.
Yeah.
But Lex has the connections. I mean, look at Herbert. Herbert doing the Dana White contender.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's.
I mean, honestly, like Titan, at first, like I said, I was a little upset about it because I came from Combate. Like,
But that was coming off of the learning experience.
Yeah, it was a little upsetting. But looking back on everything, and like I'm a guy that's very in the moment.
Yeah, just geek.
Titan is one of the best things that could have happened to me, man. Yeah. Like it's a little blessing in disguise.
For
sure.
It
was a little blessing in disguise.
I say that too.
And I'm the champ right now. I'm the champ right now, man. I'm the king right now. And I'm
so
the king
have you had people call you out?
Nah, nobody wants to call me out. Nobody wants to call me. Nobody wants to fight me.
And that's what's funny is that's one of the things I tell all these guys. They're all talking about wanting to move. Oh, I gotta go pro. I gotta go pro. I'm like, dude, wait till they come knocking. I go, once you go pro, it's hard to get a fight.
Yeah.
It's harder to get a fight as a pro than as an amateur.
Yeah. Well, if you're good. If you're garbage, then everyone's calling you out.
Yeah.
So if you're good, you're gonna have that issue.
Yeah. It's always hard, like you said, if you're good, But like I said, man, Titan has been a little blessing in disguise, man. Lex, he doesn't give me easy fights, man. Both my last fights were hard-ass fights, bro.
And that's the best way to show. That's the best way to show.
And that's the best way to show. And I welcome that,
What happened to Chino?
I welcome that.
Where's Chino fighting now?
Oh, Chino Duran? I don't know, bro. I mean,
after that, I know he did one other fight somewhere. I remember,
God bless him, bro. Like, I don't know, bro.
You fucked that guy's career up. That's fucked up,
dude. It might have been a come to Jesus moment for him.
There should be. Kept on hitting him.
People should understand. Well, maybe this really isn't for me. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's not enough of that. I don't think.
Yeah.
There's not enough people that.
It's hard, It's hard, because when that's all you know, and it's hard to give up a dream. Exactly. Yeah. When that's all you know. And things aren't going good,
doesn't mean you got to stop.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into a couple of the new stuff before it's too late. Real quick, we're gonna review the calls from last week. So we try and do the pick'ems. So we try and pick the fights. So we got to go over the UFC fights this past weekend. So for Ferreira versus Tizimov, you and Herbert pick Ferreira. Tizimov won. So let me go ahead and pick that one up for me. Blades
nice.
Against whoever.
Yeah.
Curtis Blades?
Yeah.
Against who?
I forget.
It was a
Russian.
I'll look
it up. That's another Russian.
Another big ass Russian.
Didn't Blades fuck him up?
Yeah.
Blades
won. So that was
solid.
We all got that.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Islam against Davi Ramos. You guys picked Islam. I picked Davi Ramos, which is kind of bullshit. I was very disappointed in Davi Ramos. So you guys.
No, you can't be. No, that has nothing to do with Davi. That's everything to do with Islam. Islam is an incredible fighter.
He's a great fighter.
Man, it's so hard picking fights, bro. You never know what's gonna happen, bro.
I know. I'm doing pretty solid. I'm pretty solid. All right. See, example. Yeah. Barbosa versus Felder. You and Herbert picked Barbosa. I picked Felder.
Yeah.
I'm gonna know something you guys.
No, that's. By the way, Felder lost that fight.
Felder too.
Why? Because everybody after MJ's fight against Barbosa, all you need to do to Barbosa is pressure him.
But here's the thing: if you look at this, if you look at CompuBox, if you look at everything, Felder lost that fight when they picked Felder.
He had more significant strikes.
No, he did not.
Buddy.
No, he did not.
I
watched the fight.
You can watch it all you want. I'm telling you.
And he had more significant strikes in the last round. In every other round, it was Barbosa.
Hey, buddy, go ahead. Read those numbers. What's that say?
I don't know. You can't hold it that close to me.
In my opinion, Felder, what you have to understand is a fighter's why.
Yeah.
Why a fighter is
why he's fighting.
That
everything's in Barbosa's favor. Thank you.
It's gonna make him win.
Total strikes 75 to 77. Significant strikes 56 to 60. He threw 154.
Who did?
Felder.
And how many?
114 to Barbosa.
Yeah, and Barbosa still beat him with significant strikes.
You can't beat someone if you're backing up the whole fight.
Look, show.
And he had the takedowns. The takedowns is what they didn't give him.
Show Irwin. Irwin the numbers, and you tell me what you think.
He just said Felder won.
Felder won, bro. Yeah,
right, he won. But do you think? Did you watch the fight?
Nah.
Okay, so he didn't watch the fight. But look, you see those numbers.
That fucking count, bro.
So do you see those numbers?
Yeah, but even
Barbosa threw less.
at the end
and
of the day,
and he landed
at the
more.
end of the day, a win is a win and a loss is a loss.
See, there
Right.
you go. Thank you.
No, I understand that,
W on mine.
but everybody
Let me
was
get that
freaked out.
W.
Like the entire
Yeah.
the bar that I was at, and the crowd was like when they.
I gotta
Because
watch
it was
that
the
fight
bar.
now.
It was the
Yeah.
bar
I
that
gotta
was
watch that
full.
fight.
Well,
Yeah.
I was sitting next to Sabah.
Yeah.
I was sitting next to Alex. All these
Oh,
guys
you
are
mean
actually,
his teammates? Barbosa's teammates
yeah.
are obviously going to vote for Barbosa.
no. It was a fight. They were fine picking
Really,
that stuff.
bro? If you were fighting
Yeah.
and your teammates,
How
were
are
at a
you
bar-
gonna say you didn't even watch the fight?
What are you talking about? I watched the fight. He didn't watch it.
You watched the fight and you think Felder won?
Yes, 100%.
You
I
are
didn't watch it.
smoking
Yeah, I didn't
the
watch
crack rock.
Listen, just
I would have picked Felder only because I know how much it meant to him to win that fight. You know, I would have picked him because I know he's solid. I know Barbosa's solid, but I know how much it means to him. I know his why is going to be
he
strong.
got booed out of the building.
Why is going to be strong. So
let me ask you a
I would've
question.
picked that fight.
You're fighting.
Yeah.
All your fucking teammates are at a bar,
Yeah.
and you find out your teammates weren't cheering for you. Would that really fly?
How would he find out if the teammates were?
People
It wasn't about
I really
cheering.
wouldn't care, to be honest.
It's not about the cheering.
I
It
really
was
don't
about
care.
the shock.
You know?
It wasn't
No,
about the
of
cheering.
course,
Everybody
I
was
wasn't-
shocked.
I was in shock too. I wanted Felder to win, but even then, it's like Barbosa just you back
Barbosa
him
landed
up.
more and threw less. How is that not?
Sometimes that happens, bro.
Does
It's a
it
fight
doesn't
game,
matter? Like
you
if
know?
you're backing up the whole fight.
That's Barbosa
It's
though.
the same thing,
Barbosa
that's
always
just-
backs
And now,
up.
and the thing is now, like the judges now, the judging now is a lot different than what it was before.
sure.
Now they judge you on who's the aggressor, who's the defensive guy. They judge you on different things that they didn't judge you on before. You know.
Yeah. So I was wrong. It wasn't Taizamov. It was Ferrer that won that one. That was the close one. That was the one where everyone like it was gonna go back and forth. And then Khabib against Dustin.
I picked Dustin.
Yeah, that was never gonna happen. As much as
Dude,
I got taunted
that. By the way,
He
that
was just on another level, bro.
that
why are you yelling?
And
I
Dustin
don't know.
to be the one that take out to give
Yeah.
Khabib that hurt that L. That's not gonna happen. You know.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
he was this close with that guillotine. He was this close. No, he was. He was close.
Khabib
It
made
was
you think he
in,
was that
yeah.
close.
No, Khabib defended it perfectly. Where Poirier went wrong was when Khabib flopped to relieve the pressure.
and he gave him his back.
No. He didn't follow. If Poirier would have followed that guillotine
You know what we're gonna
with
do? Is talk to once we get Shorty in here.
Yeah.
Shorty trained with him. Shorty trained
who?
with Khabib like a bunch of times. So
Yeah.
like I'm curious to hear.
well, no, even what's his name? Who's the Luke Rockhold?
Yeah, Luke trains with him.
Luke said he can't get him off of him, and Luke's outweighs him by.
Have you ever
Yeah.
rolled with Luke?
Yeah, bro. I moved around with him. You know, he's good. He's solid, bro.
fucking crazy.
He's
He's
fucking. He's so
so
good. People
fucking
don't
crazy.
understand. How good he
He's
is.
so smooth on the ground.
Yeah, he's really good, man.
think
Khabib
we
is on
tied
another
1-2.
level, though, bro.
I think we're
Khabib.
tied.
No, I still won. I won by one pick.
Not over me, but not over.
Over Herbert? No,
No.
I over Herbert too. No,
No.
I tied with Herbert, but I'm over you.
It's so hard to pick fights, bro.
well,
fights
good.
are so
I'm glad you
unpredictable,
said
man.
that because you
know?
got to join in on this week's. Because
What
this
we got
time
this week?
it's
What we got this week?
UFC on ESPN 16.
Oh, the good card is coming up, right? Cowboy and what's his name, right?
And
Yeah.
Gaethje.
So, let's
I don't want to pick that.
Louis Smolka versus Ryan McDonald. Who you got?
Smolka.
I didn't ask you.
Versus Ryan McDonald?
Ryan McDonald, not Rory McDonald.
Nah. I thought you were gonna say Michael McDonald.
No.
Nah. Well, I mean, Smoker. I know him more.
That's
you know.
that's the only
I
reason.
don't
I think that's
don't
usually
know.
that's everyone.
I don't really know the other guy. I've never seen him.
All right, we're all gonna go with Louis Smolka.
Yeah. Smoker's good though. He's solid,
For sure.
bro. He's good.
This one you should
Guy's
know.
good.
Chas Skelly against Jordan Griffin.
Jordan Griffin. Oh, Chaz, my man Chaz. Come on, my man Chaz
See?
got that.
He's not gonna go against.
Throw
the
out that
teammate.
positive energy to my boy Chaz. Come on, man.
Mr.
We taking that home.
Who do you got?
I'm going Chaz. I've always liked his style.
Chaz is solid, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Chaz is good.
Yeah, so why
Chaz
he
is
said-
good.
Does he still have
and
the
if
record?
that guy gets you fucking on the ground, bro, people have no idea how strong that fucking.
Well, he's got the fastest
Hey,
submission,
that,
doesn't
bro,
he?
that little gringo, bro, he's strong, bro. That little fucking
got
skinny
that
dude
redneck
is strong, bro.
He's got
He
legitimate
got that
redneck
fucking
strength.
yeah.
He-
He's strong, bro.
He's got
Deceptive.
country boy
He
fucking.
got that country boy
Yeah.
strength, bro. That That Negro ate his fucking
Chitlins
that
and
good ass milk.
fucking green beans
He was
for
eating
sure.
that good ass milk. That's why. That cow milk.
Straight from the cow.
Shout out to my boy, man.
Antonio Carlos Jr. against Uriah Hall. Cara Zapato against Uriah Hall.
I'm going
Shoot
face.
Zapato. Yeah. Who you got?
Hall.
Hall?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I like his style.
I don't know, man. I
I
can't.
like his style. He's underrated, bro. People.
I
His greatness.
used to be a
His
huge
greatness is
fan.
still coming out, bro. You know,
I agree. He hasn't reached.
he hasn't reached his
hasn't-
full potential. His greatness is
He's
still
got-
coming out.
He's got to get over his mental barriers.
Yeah, he has a lot of mental blocks there.
Yeah,
You know,
because he's
But
a fucking world beater, like
he's-
monster,
yeah,
and then
the
he'll
guy's a
just
monster,
curl
bro.
up.
He hasn't changed. That's the.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You know, like a lot of these guys, they don't understand that times are changing, and you need to change with the times. You know, otherwise you're gonna be left behind in the dark. You know what I mean?
Here's a
That's
good
how
one.
it works.
Todd Duffy against Jeff Hughes.
Ooh,
You didn't know that one, huh?
No, I did know that
That
one.
he's coming back.
I did know that
Who
guy.
you got?
Duffy.
You got
for
Duffy.
I'm
sure.
going Todd
Duffy's.
all day long.
I like Duffy, man. Duffy too. He's another one that never got to show his potential, man. And he's solid, bro. He's good.
He's got the
That
giant ear
motherfucker's
explosion
athletic
highlight.
like a motherfucker, bro.
That
Yo,
dude's-
big ass athletic dude.
He
bro.
needs to just go straight into doing superhero movies. Fuck that.
Hey, bro,
dude's
that
too
movie,
jacked.
that movie was fire, bro. That Never Back Down 2. That shit was fire, bro. Hey, that's my shit, man. That movie was fire, bro.
Man.
Here's the
don't know.
thing. Here's the thing with Todd.
That movie was
I'll go
fire.
Jeff Hughes. I'll go Jeff
Okay,
Hughes.
okay. Here's the thing with Todd. Todd's gone full California.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we were at
Oh, shit.
Steve's house.
Yeah.
Because when he comes down here, he'll stay with Steve.
Yeah.
And we were just chilling in Steve's backyard, just talking. He just middle of the conversation gets up, goes out in the middle of the yard, and starts doing yoga.
Todd?
Huh?
Todd?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yep.
Hey, man, whatever makes you happy. This one's tough. Teixeira against Nikita Krylov.
Ooh,
I really...
that's a hard one.
I'm going to go with Nikita. I'm sorry. I just don't trust Glover's chin anymore.
I know, bro.
It's bad. It's
He won his
really
last
Glover's a good
fight.
guy, too. Glover's a good guy, man. He's a nice
Didn't
guy.
he?
I met him.
Yeah, he won the last one, but the last, like, the 2 or 3 before that were all, like, KOs.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Nikita.
I'm going to say Glover just because I'm a Glover fan, man. Come on, Glover.
He was so close. He was, like, so close to get that title, and then it just happened at the wrong time.
I know.
He just peaked at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Who you got?
Actually, his last 2 were wins.
Who was the last 2 fights?
He got a submission over Carl Robertson and a submission over Ion Kuchev.
Another Russian.
No, it looks like a.
So who you got?
I'm going Glover.
Glover?
Glover. Scope Glover.
Their records are almost identical. 29-7 for Glover.
Thanks,
Nikita's
Goldberg.
is 25-6.
Thanks, Goldberg.
That's. They do, and they're everything else.
Nearly identical.
The only thing that's
When you
not
don't know what the fuck
Yeah,
to say,
the-
like nearly
the only thing that's not identical is their age. Glover's got them by 12 years.
Fuck. Well,
Virtually
younger.
identical.
Virtually identical. It's like, bro, this is a man versus woman fight. All right, main card or main fight: Cerrone against Gaethje.
Cerrone.
Cerrone.
It's a hard one. It's very hard. It's very hard.
I've
But I
had
got
to
Cerrone.
learn. I've had to learn to not go from to not make my fanboy picks and make legitimate picks.
If it yeah,
Fanboy
it's hard,
picks
man.
is
That's how-
Cerrone,
that
but
shit is
real
hard.
pick is Gaethje because of just
Why you think Gaethje?
I don't
the
know.
pressure.
Cerrone's
just the
been
pressure. Just the pressure. Like Gaethje can
Cerrone's
take
been
the
on a
heat.
tear too.
Gaethje can take the heat. Like who did
Gaethje does better in high pressured fights
for sure, and
You
he's
know,
willing.
and that's
to
what it's
throw
gonna
and
be.
bang.
He's gonna be in his face. It's gonna be a high pressure fight. But
those
if he
leg
does
kicks,
not
too.
take him out in the first round, it's gonna be
gonna be
Cerrone.
tough. Yeah.
Cerrone will win that fight. Cerrone gets better as the rounds go, bro.
He's slow.
Yeah,
He's
so-
a slow
so, like-
starter. He even said it himself.
He knows.
He said, "If you don't take me out in that first round, then I'm."
Well,
I already won the
Cerrone beat
fight.
Ally Quinta, but then he lost to Tony Ferguson
Yeah.
How quick
Sec-
did he lose?
in the second round TKO.
Second round TKO. How many minutes?
It was at the 5-minute mark.
Yeah, it was like
Oh,
they had
shit.
to just cut it.
Damn.
Man,
And
that's
that Ally Aquinta fight was tough. That was a tough fucking fight. And what was before that? The 2 fights before that?
Cerrone's solid, man.
Cerrone beat Alexander Hernandez.
Yeah, that guy's a fighter, bro.
Yeah.
I fucks with Cerrone, bro. He gully.
Did you ever listen to his story about when he was scuba diving?
No.
Oh,
If you
What'd
want
he
to
say?
fucking just start
listen,
clamming,
he was on Rogan and he
Dude.
told this story.
Yeah.
just listen to that podcast. Like your hands will start to clam up and you'll start to panic. If you have even the most remote inkling of like claustrophobia
Yeah.
or just being like lost in like a dark area
Yeah.
by any means,
Yeah.
you'll fucking panic.
By the way,
You'll
the
panic.
person before Hernandez was Mike Perry. He beat Mike Perry.
Yeah,
by
it's
armbar.
It's Mike Perry.
It's Mike Perry.
What does that mean? Mike Perry's a
Mike
game
Perry's solid.
fighter.
I like him too. He's gully. He's a real
He
fighter,
competed at Kasai. He was like high level blue belt.
Yeah, but he's not a grappler. Why would you can't say?
Yeah,
oh,
I'm
he's
He's
a
a
surprised-
wrestler.
I'm surprised he.
No, he's
competed
not
at
a
the time,
wrestler.
bro. He's not a grappler.
he didn't.
Yeah.
No, he's not.
He likes to
He's-
bang. He just bangs.
He likes to bang, but he doesn't want to evolve his striking at all.
Nah,
At
nah.
all.
No, he wants to throw
He's another
smoke.
guy. He's another guy that would be left in the dust because he
So
does
who you-
not
yeah.
change.
No,
Does
that's-
not change.
I'm gonna go
Change is so important,
Gagey.
bro.
Gagey.
It's hard to not go with Gagey on this one.
Listen, man. I'm a big
Gagey does
Cerrone-
not stop coming forward.
I'm a big Cerrone fan.
So am I. I love Cerrone. But that's too hard. It's too hard of a fight to pick.
You know, truthfully,
so I'm gonna go.
truthfully, like, you know, if I had to put money, I would say Gagey. You know, like
That's
like
what I'm
you
saying.
said,
See,
you
like
know,
that's where you're
like you
stuck
said,
being
like,
a fanboy and like.
I'm gonna throw positive energy out to Cerrone because you know I just gotta do it. You know, but
But
you know, that's you know. It's
I'm
very-
willing to
that's a
burn
very
money
tough
on
fight.
this one.
That's a very tough fight, man.
all right, so we got those picks.
So they did.
Nothing like too crazy news wise as far as jiu-jitsu. Did you know Hoist Gracie was getting divorced? I had no
Is
fucking
that
clue.
jiu-jitsu news?
That's
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu news.
That's
He
more
just-
like life news that probably
Yeah.
shouldn't be in jiu-jitsu news.
because of everything else that we talked about.
Hoist Gracie's getting
Hoist
divorced?
Gracie.
Damn.
Well, no, he was. I guess they've been like trying to get divorced for like 4 years, 5 years, something crazy like that.
Bro,
and then
you
they
don't
canceled
understand
it.
How it
He's
bro,
like, nah,
it's so
son.
hard, man. Especially if you got kids and shit, bro.
For sure.
Like,
They got, like,
so
5
hard
kids.
to just like, yeah, it's so hard to just like call it quits.
So I
And
don't
it's
know.
probably a Brazilian woman, so you know that's a fiery relationship.
So no, I think it was more because of money issues. I think more than anything, it was like money issues because they were in trouble with the IRS. Bless you.
Excuse me.
With all this other stuff. So I don't know, but whatever. Then the other thing was Stephen Thompson against Vicente Luque was announced. It's
Yeah.
gonna be a good fight.
yeah,
It's a good
Vicente deserves some upper echelon
For
talent.
sure, no question.
Sure.
Like
And they were trying to throw him into the beast too with the young kid that they brought in. That like they fought. He knocked him
Which
out
one?
in the second round. I think it was. I forget the guy's name. They gave him this like monster of a dude.
I think they should
I'm happy with that match. That's a good match.
Yeah, I
For
think
sure.
the
That's a
fight he
great
should have
matchup
been
for Vicente.
he should have had higher competition to fight before this. He's
for sure.
It's
That's the New York card too.
Whack. Well, Neil Magny. He was supposed to fight. He
Yeah.
was supposed to fight Neil Magny. That would have been a great fight, you know. But it's like I said, Stephen Thompson is a good opponent, has a good name to take, you know, and Vicente
that'll
is
bump
no
him
joke,
up.
man. That guy is good,
Yeah.
bro. And people don't understand how good that dude is, man. He's good. He's
That'll-
young. He's a kid. He's a
yeah.
kid, bro.
When I found out how
He's a
young
kid.
he was the
He's
other
a
day, I was
kid,
like,
Luque?
bro.
yeah, because
Yeah.
I've known him like I've
'Cause
known
you've
him.
seen him
It's like
for long
24, 25,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, but I
Something
thought I've known him.
It's good.
Fighters just look older.
No,
Just
he
because
looks,
scar tissue.
but it's not only just the way he looks. Like he was always like very
presence. He's mature.
yeah,
he's mature.
For sure.
Very
So
mature.
like I just assumed he was in his 20s back then.
Yeah, he's very mature, man,
Yeah.
for a kid.
He's
Very,
smart
very
and he's
mature.
quiet too because he's quiet.
quiet,
like
yeah.
it's got the.
Very
it's
quiet.
just.
He's a
his
good kid,
presence
man.
is
He's a good kid. Comes from a good family,
He was
bro.
a
like,
hard
you know.
worker.
Yeah, very hard worker, bro. I got
That's the
nothing but
one
good
thing
things to say
about him.
bro.
Yeah,
He's
it's
a
like I've
good
never
kid,
heard
bro.
anything
Yeah,
bad
he's
about
a
him.
good
Like
kid,
not
bro.
one.
And he's a hard worker. That's what I love about him, bro. He's a hard worker, man. I respect all hard workers.
For sure.
Is he still undefeated?
Who?
Vicente.
Luque? I think he's
Nah.
got one loss.
Nah, he got a couple, bro.
Does he?
Yeah, look it up.
He got a couple, bro. Like Vicente came from like a a pretty bad record, and he just killed it in the UFC. He got an opportunity.
He stepped up.
You know, he just
sure.
killed it.
I'll tell you right now.
You know, he got on the Ultimate Fighter. He just started taking guys out, and then that was his breakout year, and then he's just been killing the game since, bro.
But he put in the work. That's the
You
thing.
know?
He
Yep.
really put in the work.
He changed everything, bro. He changed his camp. He came down to Henry's with us, bro. Like, you know, he did his thing, bro. And he
17 and
1.
6 and
Yeah.
1.
You know? Yep. See.
Listen, that New York card is gonna be fucking bonkers. Jorge Masvidal against Nate Diaz, Derek Lewis against Blagov Ivanov, Corey Anderson against Johnny Walker, Caitlin
that's a good
Chukagian
one.
against Jennifer Maya, Kelvin Gastelum against Darren Till, Thompson and Luque, Julio Arce against
Yeah,
Hakeem
Luque's
Dawood,
been on a tear though. He's been on a
That's in New
Luque's
York?
on a
That's in New York.
Arlovsky against Jairizo Rosenstruck. Oh, that's
Arlovsky's
so bad.
fight. Arlovsky's my
Bro.
man, bro. I love Arlovsky.
Jairzinho
That's a G.
Rosenstruik, who's 8-0 against Arlovsky. That's gonna be
Vincente's 10-1 over his last 11.
yeah.
See.
10-1.
Yeah.
He was on a 4-fight win streak. Lost to Leon Edwards. Leon Edwards is a spoiler because he beats people.
Leon Edwards is good.
Leon Edwards is real good.
Good fight.
And then after that, he went on a 5-fight or 6-fight win streak.
Put in the
Man,
work.
I feel bad for MJ. They put him
MJ?
on the worst card. MJ's fighting against Stevie Ray, which is a good fight, but it's the same card as Damian Maia against Ben Askren. Like, it's snooze fest fucking city, man.
Hey, he's gonna be the bright star in that.
For
fucking,
sure.
In that
That's the
fucking
same
fight.
shit that they did to
You know?
him in the St. Louis fight.
Yeah, and
where
he was a
should
bright
have been.
star.
He was supposed
the-
to be the main
he
card
was
in
a
that, and
bright
they
star.
fucked it up because he had the best
Hey, bro, I'll fight on a boring card any day of the week because I know I'll take that bonus check.
for sure.
You know what I mean? You give me that opportunity, I'll take that shit for sure, bro. You know,
They,
so
yeah, they definitely need to.
I know MJ's happy with that opportunity, bro. Shit, you got an opportunity to
yeah.
take because you're competing with everybody with that bonus check. Everybody's trying to get that bonus check. But if you on a boring card, you know you're gonna be on a boring card. Hey, this is my opportunity.
Easy
You know?
money. Speaking of
Straight
bonus
up.
money,
Straight up.
so I guess we're not gonna get the Colby against Kamaru fight in New York.
Well, yeah, at least right now,
No.
unless something happens.
No, I already can tell you no. I've gotten word it's not happening. So
That guy Colby's crazy, bro.
yeah.
That guy's
So
a
actually,
kid.
big reason
Smart,
for
though.
that
He's
was
smart. He's
was
smart.
him on the money.
Yeah, I don't
So-
blame him. They wanted to
Yeah.
lowball him.
They were offering him like just challenger money
Yeah.
instead of giving him like champion money, which is kind of like, well, Kamaru still is the champion, so
Well,
Yeah.
so is he.
interim-
They stripped him. They stripped him
They
of that
stripped him.
interim for no reason.
No, there's reason because he was playing those games. So that's the thing. So what happened was the UFC offered him the fights and he started playing those games. They're like, oh, you want to play like that? So then they stripped him of the title and then they started saying like that's why he got the challenger money and not championship money. Because he was pushing the whole persona thing a little too hard on them,
Yeah.
and you can't do that to the UFC.
Well,
It's
no,
very
yes,
well-
you can. You can. It's just look.
It clearly didn't work out for him.
No, you can. You just have to. And I think it's a mistake on the UFC's part because that would be a huge
No,
fight.
it'd be huge.
Huge fight. It would be a big moneymaker.
But if you look at if you listen to the interviews, he's 100% right, and he's 100% correct on the numbers that he was spitting out to them because he said, I got you the Trumps. Like, I got the president to tweet about us, to tweet about me, whatever way you look at it, like politics-wise.
Yeah.
He's like, that right there is worth $3.5 million in advertising alone. And you're offering me chump change in comparison. So it's smart. If I'm offering you
Told you,
this
bro.
much...
That guy's smart, bro.
For
that
sure.
guy's smart. He knows what he's doing.
For sure.
I just want to know if the stuff between him and
He read
Jorge.
Chael Sonnen's book very well. Yeah.
I want to know if him and Jorge, that beef between him and Jorge,
That-
Oh, for
is
sure. it's
real.
legit. Oh, for sure, it's legit. Jorge doesn't play that game.
You say that, but you don't know. We don't.
I don't believe that.
What beef? What you talking about?
That they're like they got beef like
Jorge Rivera or
Jorge Rivera,
Masvidal
Masvidal,
yeah.
versus who?
No, him and Colby
Colby.
have beef.
and
Oh, yeah.
Dustin and Colby now.
And who? Dustin?
Dustin.
Poirier?
Dustin said to him, he's like,
Bro,
when I see
Colby
you at
got
the gym,
beef with everybody, bro. He, and he'll welcome that shit. He knows
For
what
sure.
he's doing.
Yeah, he's getting paid for it.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
Well, that's what he
like
said.
I said, like we talked about before, it's an entertainment.
Yeah.
It's not just it isn't just about the fight game now. You know, that fighting is one part of it. It's entertaining as well, bro.
You gotta put asses
You gotta
in the
know what you're
seats.
doing. Yeah, you gotta put asses in the seats,
It's
man. You gotta
always
be.
that.
You gotta want people to see your fight, bro. You know.
And I mean, I'm waiting here to see you fight, but now we gotta wait till January.
Until the next opportunity. But you know what? If everything goes according to plan, everything will be good. And if we get a better opportunity, we get a better opportunity. You know what I mean? I've learned from personal experience. You gotta be patient, man. Patience is a virtue. Patience is a virtue. We're in a good place. Like I said, we're in a very good place right now, and I'm working. So whatever opportunity comes, I'll be ready.
How long did you wait until you started like really moving after the injury?
I literally, like, it was a year. It was a year later. It was a little more. It was when did I fight? When was that?
No. When did you like start like actively
moving?
training and moving?
Oh
Like
shit, bro! I started moving. I started walking after I broke my leg. I didn't do surgery. I got no surgery. I did it all myself. I cut my cast off probably a week and a half later. I literally cut my cast off.
Yeah.
You know, because the only reason why I did that was I remember I was just in a very down state of mind, man. I felt like crap, bro. I was in a very down state of mind. And I remember watching my daughter, bro. And I remember watching my daughter, and I remember she was just chilling. I was just chilling in the living room, and I would block off like the walk-in area, so she would just be trapped in the living room with me. And my daughter was just chilling, and she looked at me, like, "Papi, you gotta get up. You gotta get to work," you know. And I was in a very upset mood, you know, like things weren't going good with my relationship, like I talked about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my little girl pushed me. I looked at her, you know. She just was looking at me like, "You gotta get up. You gotta get to work." And I was.
Now, how old was your daughter when this happened?
My she's probably like two years old.
A baby.
She was like 2 years old. Yeah, not even 2 years old. You know, and literally,
So
I cut that shit off, man. I cut that shit off, bro.
It wasn't your daughter. It was you.
Oh yeah,
It was you.
no question,
Because your daughter was just looking at you like.
But body
"Daddy,
language.
I want a
Yeah.
bottle. Or,
know?
No.
Yeah.
But that little girl.
But body language speaks, bro.
That
Kids are
little
smart,
girl-
bro. Kids are smart. You'd be surprised. Kids are very smart, and I believe that everything happens for a reason, you know. And what I know for a fact is when God speaks to you, He speaks to you through feelings, you know. You through intuition. You know when you need to do something. You know when something is right for you. He speaks to you through intuition, and that's what He gave me. He gave me my daughter, and that's why I call her my little piedra, like my little rock. You know, because she was the little rock that like I needed, you know, for me to get through that whole surgery. I realized at that point in my life what was the most important thing to me, and it was my family. It was my daughter, and my daughter is a representation of myself. You know, it was my family, honoring my family, making sure that I do everything right. So she got me moving right away, man. A week and a half later, I cut that cast off, and I would say I waited about a month and a couple days, and I was right back in the gym, man. Right back to moving and shit.
She's like hilarious if you watch her when like he brings her to the gym. I have a photo of her where she's like an 80-year-old lady. She's sitting there on her chair, sitting there with her like book. It looks like a newspaper, and she's just watching. Like it's just like you just imagine just like a little abuelita just sitting there like.
She watches me, bro.
She'll sit there and watch.
Yeah,
like,
she watches me,
those
bro.
photos?
Yeah, you sent me.
Yeah, she's sitting like this and just looking like,
She watches me.
Yeah, I don't like that, and then goes back to like read her book, and then like.
Because that's what you gotta do, man. Like she's always been with it. You've always seen her in the gym with me, bro. Like I've when I first. The minute that I had her, you know, like after I had hurt in that first fight that I had with Combate America, my daughter was born the next day. Literally, she was born the next day, you know, and I had to fly down. You know, I love Marquez. Yeah. He's the one who drove me down. You know, him and Shawn, they quickly drove me down to the hospital. You know, and literally my daughter was born, man, and it was the best feeling in the world, bro. Like you can't describe that, man. Like, you know, the minute that I saw her little eyes open, and you know, the minute that she was born, like they ripped her out of the freaking womb, and I cut the fucking cord and shit, and I saw my daughter's face, I was like, wow, like I'm a father now, man. This shit is crazy. It's not just about me. It's about my daughter. It's about me and my daughter. you know. And at the time, it was my ex, but it's always been about me and my daughter, you know. Like, I've always been with the baby 24/7, you know. My ex was working. She went to school. She decided she just wanted to go to school, and she left me with the baby 24/7. And I had to figure out a way to make it work, and I figured it out, you know. I took a while. It took some beating. It took some broken leg, you know. It took some L's, you know. It took a while, but I finally figured out.
Too,
yeah, oh yeah, it took some crazy tears, some blood, you know, a leg. But everything finally worked out, man. And I feel as if I have a very good system now. I know exactly what I need to do and how I need to do it to succeed, you know. And I'm very smart about my approach of how I train and what I do, and you know, not even just like with the training that I do, but like come fight night, like when I perform, like it's not just about winning the fight. It's also about speaking after you win the fight. You know what I mean? Like even like shit like this, like, you know, being on the podcast with you guys, like, you know, I envisioned that shit, like, you know, I literally was rehearsing that shit, like, you know, like not rehearsing what I'm gonna say, but like, no, but I see it before it happens, like, you know what I mean? Like I prepare myself for it. You know what I mean? Like everything,
it's,
you know,
it's just one of those things. You're taking awareness of everything that's around you.
I'm very in the moment. I'm very in the moment of everything that happens now, you know. Ever since that leg break, it was a you know, an eye opener, man. I see everything like more clearly. It's like I've taken like the fucking limitless little pill, and I'm just like, I was blind, but now I see everything. Like, you know I have a clear vision of what I want in my life, how I'm gonna get it, you know, and what I need to do in order to acquire it. You know what I mean? So I'm in a good state of mind, like I said, man, you know. So
it's good, man.
We're good, man.
Just total side note, I know it's towards the end of the podcast. He's wearing glasses that are sunglasses. He's now being the douchebag that wears sunglasses indoors. He literally needs them to see. I wear
my sunglasses at night.
He literally needs those to see. So don't sit there and post comments like, "Oh, who's this douchebag wearing sunglasses inside?" No, he literally needs those. So I tried to blind him with the light.
Nah.
I think that's gonna be it for us, man. I know it's getting late and you gotta actually train in the morning.
I gotta work, man. I gotta go to work, bro. You know, I'm a hustler. You know
anything you want to say before I head out?
No, man.
Any pieces of advice for people that are, let's say, they get thrown into that dark spot?
Just basically believe, man. Believe that everything will be all right as long as you work towards it. You know, if you're gonna be left where you are if you do nothing about it, you know. And it's about what you do in the situations when they come. You know, you gotta understand that something a very wise man once told me was that life doesn't happen to you, but it happens for you. You have to believe that. I'll say it again. Life doesn't happen to you, but it happens for you. The things that happen to you in your life are happening specifically for you to learn something about it, for you to grow something, and for you to become better. And you have to embrace change. You know, understand you have to change in order to better yourself. If you don't like where you are, you need to fucking change. Get up, move, change, make it different. You know what I mean? So stick to your plans too, you know. And aside from that, I appreciate you guys having me tremendously. You know, very, very much appreciated.
Thanks for doing it.
You know, I think you guys are doing something great here. You know what I mean? So keep doing what you guys are doing, man. You know,
man. I say the same for you. You know, just answer your phone. That's all.
Answer
your fucking phone.
You know, I always do, man.
If anybody wants to follow you, where can they follow you?
You could follow me on my Instagram. It's Rivera144_1. Or find me on Facebook, Irwin Rivera or Irwin Beast Rivera. And but mainly go towards my Instagram. My Instagram has all my personal shit, you know. So you see videos of me training, videos of things that I do on a daily basis, handle, you know. What happened?
We got to get you a different handle to make it more. Like, you know, it's like I Rivera 144.
Yeah, that shit is old school. That shit is old school, man.
Like,
yeah.
You know,
that shit.
That's
I've had that shit since like a long time ago. You know, yeah. And you know what? You might be right. You know, like I said, I embrace change. So I mean, maybe later on down the road, when you know, like when shit gets serious, you know, when I become the person that I know that I'm gonna become, then for sure, I
see-
definitely see myself
Here's what I'm
changing that
seeing.
for
I'm
sure.
seeing IBs, like iPhone, little I,
IBs.
big B.
You know what I just said?
IBs.
Yeah, but
Literally just said.
Hey, I got a YouTube channel coming out soon, you know, so check out for
Just
it.
now?
Look out for it, you know.
Shit, my bad. I thought it was
My
2019.
yeah, my my YouTube channel's definitely coming out soon, very
You
very
gotta
soon.
throw
I
out-
promise
throw out
you.
some
You know?
boxing tutorials out there, man.
Yeah, I'll throw a couple things, but mostly it's gonna be on cooking. You know, I'm very big. I'm a very big guy.
He's a good
I'm a
fucking
very big
cook
guy
out there,
on nutrition. I believe
Yeah.
nutrition is a serious weapon, and I have a lot of amazing recipes and amazing food that
He's a
definitely help
legit cook.
anybody. You know.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
hate cooking.
Uh,
I hate
you just
Telling you,
clearly just
you know?
enjoy eating.
Yeah.
I love eating.
All right, Irwin. Thanks for doing this, man. Appreciate it.
appreciate you guys.
Congratulations on the belt.
you.
Congratulations on
Gracias.
all the hard work. And I guess we'll just gotta train you for the Miami Open.
For sure.
That's
Let's
gonna
go.
be your first.
Leg locks all day, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Leg
straight
locks all
ankle
day.
locks all day.
Hey, I'm gonna catch him in a heel hook. Just
Can't do it. Can't do it.
Just, it's gonna happen. Oh no, I'm not talking about
You
IBJ.
just
Yeah.
oh, I
The
was talking
gym.
about heel hooking
I'm gonna
me.
catch you, bro.
So I can go for it.
I'm
Go
getting
for it.
nice
You
at
gotta
them
show up
shits, you
first.
know?
You gotta show up first.
Possibly even a calf slice. I've been hanging around Herbert too much.
Oh,
You know
bro,
what I mean?
it's so bad. I was busting his balls about that the other day. All right, make sure you guys follow Irwin. If you guys want, make sure you follow us on Instagram, Jiu-Jitsu Radio. Check out Shawn at Gorilla Boy BJJ, and follow my Instagram, Sonder Marketing. I got some crazy events coming up soon that you're definitely going to want to follow. And with that being said, we're out for the night. Peace.
Peace.
You kidding me, bro?
Here's the deal. I'm the best there is, plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence, and nobody can hang with my stuff.
Kid stealing, woo, wheeling, dealing, limousine right, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down.